Hi, my name is Wita Anderson, and the title of my book is called Seconds by Bryan Lee O'Malley. The creative team consisted of Jason Fletcher, Draw's assistant, Dustin Harpin, lettering, and Nathan Fairham was responsible for the coloring. The length of the book is 321 pages. The publisher is Ballantine Books, New York. Seconds is a single volume book. The story is based on a restaurant called Seconds and the events that go on there and with the chef, Katie. Katie decides to one day wrong her right at any cost, only to find out that there are things we will never be able to change. Act 1 breaks on page 73. Okay. Prior to the act break here at Act 1, we were introduced to to Katie's house spirit, which I'll show you in the beginning of it. Just great graphics is why I really want to show it. This is her house spirit. So we're introduced to her in the beginning in Act 1. And then at the end of Act 1, we go into Katie and more of her and her house spirit and the conflicts that ensue because of their relationship. So at Act 2 breaks on page 229. Just get that. Okay. Act 2 breaks at page 229 after Katie believes that she can erase her mistakes without consequences. Act 3 reveals the lessons of life, that life can only be lived and not controlled. The story had a definite story arc. In the beginning, the call to adventure was, of course, Katie wanting to know more about a mysterious creature that would come while she slept, which is the house spirit that I showed you earlier. And the conflict was clear when Katie had to try and find out the truth. And the resolution was Katie realizing that there are things we can't change. In the end, Katie and the character Hazel went through a character arc. Katie understood her limitation, accepted things as they were finally. And Hazel came out of her shell and became more open to possibilities. So the story had effective transitions. Here are a few. Movement to movement transition. I'll show you on I did have it marked. Now I just can't find it. Okay. This would be action to action transition, which I thought was great. And the movement to movement, let me see where I have that at. 35. And this would be movement to movement, like from her going here and then ending there would be movement to movement transition. So the transitions were very clear and apparent, and they were really, really, really great transitions. There was also a part in the book where that they had revisions. So Katie believed that she could do things wrong and then correct her mistakes, and it was great how they did. They actually have 11 revisions here, and here's one. This is revision number 2, where she started off here doing something that wasn't really good, and she wanted to correct the mistake, and this was her trying to redo it, and I thought that was really awesome. And like I said, they have 11 revisions here. So it was 11 things that she had tried to, 11 mistakes she tried to correct. So I just thought it was really nice how the graphics were. And this is her friend Hazel, who also went through who had a character arc in the story. In the beginning, she was very a loner and really didn't deal with anyone, but she was just alone by herself. And how by the end she was open to possibilities and wanting to meet people and okay to meet people. So it was. And here's another transition. Like I said, they give you 11. This is, I mean, not transition, revision, I'm sorry. This is revision number 6. And it is really, 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 really a good story. And funny. So here's another revision 7. It's awesome. And this is this is when we're in the conflict in the middle of the book, where she's really starting to come, her character is starting to evolve, and she's starting to get it and understand the reason why she's having the trials that she's going through. And again, that's Hazel. And then when we get to the end of the story, in our third act, it's really all about just lessons here. And Katie, and if you notice, Katie and Hazel both, because I said earlier that Katie and Hazel both went through a character arc, and as you can see, they were both, and throughout the story, you can see them both together side by side most of the time. But toward the end, at the end of Act 3, you can see that they're both, because Act 3 is really in this book is when everything's starting to resolve and everything's coming to a close, that they are both going through a transition. Both characters are. So it was really just a great. And this is the last revision here, where she tried to change what was going on. It was just that one page, but I really enjoyed that part of it. Her dreams, I guess they were like her dreams that she tried to it's amazing story, very nice stories, characters. I mean, the coloring, the drawing, it was all just so good. And I never actually was into comics, but I have a newfound respect for it now, and also a newfound respect for just this class, just because I really enjoyed everything I did thus far. I've really enjoyed. So thank you so much, Mr. Bryan. Thank you. Bye-bye.